a sailboat in the moonlight and you. Wouldn't that be heaven? Oh, heaven just for two. A soft breeze on a June night and you. What a perfect setting for letting dreams come true.
Behind me, the winter has set in with a vengeance. We've got already ice on the harbor here, so things are getting a little cool. I was concerned about my batteries, and I'm here today just to check on something that I did there a few days ago. You might recall that we put some solar panels on the top of the boat, and I've taken one of those now. Not sure if you can see this here. I'll go back a bit. Taken one of those and I put it on top of the cover, and it's in a nice protected area. It's sort of between other boats, but it's going to give us a little bit of power going into the batteries, fortunately. Okay, we're in the boat. It's a little unorganized and quite cool down here, but let's have a look at this system here. So it looks like we got 100% on our batteries, and our solar panel right now is not putting anything in because it doesn't need to. So it's working really, really well. Very happy with that. Now there's good reason you want to charge your batteries up in the wintertime, or keep them charged at least. Usually we would disconnect our batteries after charging them 100%. Now those were the old lead acid batteries. We'd allow them to charge right up to the top while they were plugged in, and then we would unplug them and then disconnect the positive terminal. In fact, you could disconnect the positive and negative terminals even to them, and they should be fine through the course of the winter. A lot of people like to bring their batteries inside and keep them charged through the year, but if you've got a healthy battery, it doesn't hurt them to get cold if they're charged fully. Now, if your system has some kind of monitoring on it, or it has a digital echo charger on it or something like that, there is a very slight draw on those kinds of things. And that draw will draw your batteries down enough that they'll become discharged during the winter, and then they'll freeze. So it's a real problem. We do have lithium-ion batteries on board. That's the Life PO4s from Battleborn, and they recommend that you can leave your batteries fully charged for up to a year. So our plan is to keep them fully charged through the winter months, and then to make use of the lights and what have you, the electrical source that's on board, so we can do projects through the winter. We're going to try to keep them charged all winter long, and this will be a bit of an experiment just to see how they stand up. We've never had lithium-ion batteries before, but the claims are that they will be just fine. So come along with us and you can see how that works out. Well, it's about a week after I shot that last little bit about the batteries and we checked things out, and since then I've done a little bit of reading on lithium-ion batteries, which I must admit, they're new to me, and Battleborn have been very, very helpful, but I've had virtually no experience with these things. So anyway, I'm trying to dot all the I's and cross all the T's in the hopes that next year I've got a good set of batteries to use again. And I've discovered something that These batteries have within them a temperature sensor, and if the temperature goes below 25, I believe it is, degrees Celsius, then they no longer will receive a charge. And so I want to go up and I want to check with my meter what the actual voltage is in each one of the batteries, just to make sure that we've been putting a charge into there on the days where the temperature's gone up and above, and to make sure they were at the right level when the temperatures drop. Like now it's 18 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, so I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's bloody cold. So anyway, we're going to go and check that out right now, and just make double sure that our batteries are in good condition. So I'll just check on the meter here. It still says 100%, so my batteries are currently 100% charged according to this. Now my charger is, according to this, my batteries should all be at 14.1 volts, which is okay. And the solar panel's producing 22.1 volts, but it's not putting anything. It's putting 0 into my batteries. So that could be because the batteries are too cold. So I just want to make absolutely certain. So we're going to get out our meter and see if that tells the same story. Okay, we're going in. I got my handy dandy meter, and we're going to, why don't we start with this battery right down here. I think it's too cold for this thing. 14.35 this says. 2.4. Okay, next one. Okay. Take this out of here. There's the batteries. This thing doesn't like cold weather either. Okay. 14.23. And this one, 14.21. Okay. So we're good there. Okay. So the final one to check is going to be the starting battery, which is lead acid. So 12.63, 12.64, 12.6. Okay. So looks like my meters are reading correctly. Let's go back to the house where it's a little warmer. We can talk about batteries. There's one thing that all sailors have in common. It's batteries. I mean, we've all got batteries on board. There's 3 main types of batteries. The most common ones would be the flooded or lead acid batteries. These ones have water and acid in them with lead plates. Lead acid batteries are potentially a problem if they go down in power, and they are actually the most susceptible to freezing. You'll know your lead acid batteries have frozen if they're kind of swollen in the spring when you come and have a look at them. When they freeze, the actual boxes will expand. It'll actually damage them so they're no longer able to be used. We've experienced that before as well in the spring, coming in and opening up our battery compartment only to find that all of our lead acid batteries were done. And in fact, all of our lead acid batteries had cracked open and the acid had gone into the bilge. The reason for that was that we had a digital echo charger and a monitoring system that drew a very, very light draw on the boat. I mean, it was just milliamps. But it was enough that over the course of the winter, it could completely flatten the batteries. And these were really good Trojan T105s. I mean, they were the state of the art in their day. So the best thing to do with lead acid batteries is to make sure that the water level is up, that you've got distilled water right to the very top, and that they're charged fully before you shut the boat up for the winter. It's also wise, if you're not going to be coming to the boat and you're not going to be introducing a charge into the system, that you keep them fully charged and disconnect a positive cable from each battery. That way they'll sit, and they'll really sit indefinitely. They will lose up to about 50% of their charge through the course of the winter. So you can go back in and charge them occasionally through the winter as well. But if you keep an eye on them and every once in a while just check the voltage like I did the other day, you'll be able to keep an eye on them. You don't really have to bring them inside where they're warm. The next battery that's less susceptible to freezing would be AGM batteries, or absorbed glass mat batteries. Now they've got a fiberglass mat inside the battery that creates little pockets for the acid and water to reside, and they tend not to freeze quite as easily. Thirdly would be our lithium batteries. Now with the Life PO4 batteries, the lithium iron phosphate batteries that we've got on Windover, you're able to have a system that's very similar to your old lead acid system. You can almost drop them into the same footprint as your lead acid deep cycle batteries. And they're monitored and charged in much the same way, so they aren't too much of a departure from the old systems that you've got on your boat now. The other thing we like about lithium iron phosphate is that they've got a huge capacity, because you can use almost all the power that's in those batteries before you need to recharge them again. So they're really a game changer on board. A lot of people moving towards everything being electric on the boat, even scrapping the diesel engine, and these are things we're going to see more and more of as time goes by. I don't think the technology's quite there yet. Lithium iron phosphate batteries are certainly a big step in the right direction. Anyway, hope you took care of your batteries this winter. We're about halfway through it now, so a few more months we'll be splashing her again and enjoying the sunshine. So Merry Christmas to all of you, and a Happy New Year, and we wish you all the best.